Done. Harry in frantic move to spill as family sent final trump card out to clean Sussex mess. Prince Harry stepped down as a senior royal in 2020. According to Valentine Lowe, author of Courtiers, Harry felt that his time as a relevant royal was limited. Due to this, the 38-year-old was determined to use his what he thought small number of years to make an impact. Mr. Lowe said, Harry felt he had a limited shelf life. Host Joe Elvin spoke of the Duke and stated he could have had an amazing legacy, particularly through the Invictus Games. He felt that the royals, if they're not on track to become monarch, they become less relevant as they grow older, and as they move down the line of succession, and as younger, more glamorous and more interesting royals come along. He then made reference to the Duke of Kent and added that the 87-year-old was previously 8th in line to the throne. Mr. Lowe continued, Harry felt that by the time Prince George was going to be 18 or so, no one would care about him. He had this relatively small number of years and was very keen to make an impact quickly. He noted, Harry set up the Invictus Games fantastically swiftly from the process for having the idea to making it a reality. Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle have been left in the dark about whether their children will have royal titles, with reports that King Charles III is yet to decide. It's understood that the prince and his father, the new king, had a brief discussion about the children's titles before Harry returned to the USA, but nothing has yet been decided. Harry's two children, Archie and Lilibet, are entitled to be named Prince and Princess as grandchildren of the new king. However, no public announcements have yet to be made by the royal family, and there are reports that the Duke wants to leave the decision up to the children when they're older. However, this can only be done if the king decides to give them the titles in the first place, which they can then choose to revoke. Harry is understood to have expressed his desire to let his children decide when they're older, and to have emphasised that would only be possible if they were allowed to retain their titles now. The conversation is understood to have ended unresolved and to have left the Sussexes dismayed. However, royal biographer Angela Levin said that it was expected of King Charles III to demote Prince Harry and Meghan Markle because they no longer work for the royal family. As such, nothing is expected from the couple. Levin also called the move a careful statement from King Charles. I thought it was a very careful statement. The fact is that what they're doing is zero. It just shows people what they're not doing and how valuable it is in the royal family. I think putting Harry down there at the bottom is a sort of safety valve. You don't expect anything from them. We all know Charles has long wanted a streamlined monarchy, and it's very interesting that Queen Margaret has just stripped family members other than those in direct line of accession of those HRH titles. The constitutional experts I've spoken to saw this pattern of the British monarchy moving more into a sort of European-style royalty. If that's the case, then possibly they're not going to get these titles. One thing we know is that titles matter to Charles. It was important to him that Queen Consort Camilla got her title.